So we'll just wait for a few of you to come in and then we'll kick things off. Hope you're all well and haven't been too drowned by the rain recently.
Hope it's nice and sunny where you are. Actually, it's lovely and sunny here. We were just chatting about how good the day's been.
Yeah, same here actually. It's nice blue skies in comparison to the beginning
of the
Midlands
charm.
It is the Midlands charm for a change, rather than the Southern charm. How many are we up to? Because I can't actually see when
I can't see it either.
I've got 51.
51.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah. Oh, excellent. Well, I think I'll kick things off because there'll be a few more people to arrive. So, first of all, I just thought we'd introduce ourselves. So, I'm Hannah, Director of Memberships and Partnerships, and we've been working tirelessly to get this membership up and running to benefit the community and tutors, of course, as well as making sure that we can get all of those added benefits in where possible. And just to remember that this is just the beginning of the membership and our starting place, and there'll be lots more to come as we evolve and grow as well. So it's a good place to start. So that's a bit about me. I'll hand you over to Stephen, who's our CEO.
Hi, and thank you, Han, for starting us off. Yeah, it's a really exciting day today. It's the start of our new membership scheme. And the first people we're going to tell about it are you guys, and to walk through, because you play a really key part in what we're going to be doing, in terms of making sure that the folk that you're training are given the opportunity to access the data they need. And Hannah's going to tell you a lot more about that as we go through the system. So thank you for spending some time on this sunny Thursday afternoon. Nearly lost the track of the day there. We are recording the session, so it will be made available for view as a second time. And enjoy the presentation, and I'll hand back to Han.
Well, thanks for that, Stephen. I'll hand over to Zana.
Hello. Hopefully you'll all know me by now, and I would have met you, hopefully, but my name's Anna Finity and I'm the Director of the Makaton Language Programme. I'm not in front of the camera today. I'm here to support my colleagues and help be a panellist, so if you've got any questions, Han will tell you how to do that. And all I can say really is it's truly exciting and wonderful what you're about to see, and we've all been working very hard, and it's a product of all your feedback and everything that we've heard that you guys have wanted, and what we've been trying to do is to make that work for you. So hopefully you'll be buzzing like us all at the end of this. Vicky?
Yeah, I'm Vicky Partridge. I'm the Director of Digital and Fundraising. So I've been working a lot on the technology that sits behind the membership and the new website, the new Makaton Hub and library. So I've been with the organisation around about a year now, and my main focus has been on getting this launched and out to you guys. So I'm here, like Zan, I'm sort of in the background to answer any questions that you may have over the course of the next 45 minutes. Rock, I don't know if you want to...
Yeah, sorry, over to Rock.
Hi, sorry. Hi, I'm Rock DeSilva. I'm the Director of Finance and Services. This is an exciting time for me. It's and the charity. It is a new income stream that hopefully will add to all the incomes that we currently generate, and improve, particularly with this COVID time as well, improve our financial stability. Hi, everyone.
Thanks, Rock. Great. So we've done a little introduction, and I echo everyone's words there. So we have our lovely panellists, so that you'll be able to ask any questions within the Q&A section at the bottom, and we'll do our best to answer those the best we can. So you can pop those in as we go along, and I'll have a time at the end where I'll answer those, or they'll get answered as we go along as well. So let's get started. So the agenda, what we're going to be talking about is the tutors being able to offer the 30-day free trial, the additional slides that you will need to be able to do this, and then we'll go through a bit of a demonstration on what the participants would need to do to complete the evaluation form, and then what you would then see as a tutor within your area, and a little bit about MakaChat as well. So let's crack on. So what you'll need is there'll be an email template. So with when you're delivering your courses, normally you would then have the evaluation forms on a paper piece of paper at the end, which we know is a very long, convoluted, ongoing problem. So what we're doing is we're simplifying it and streamlining it. So what you will need, I'll go through and show those in a moment. So we'll have an email template which you'll be able to download on the Makaton library. So if you haven't logged into the hub yet, I suggest you do so, because you'll have a great range of access to the core vocabulary and other resources, as well as Makachat. Within there, what you'll have to make sure you do is you have to have your tutor ID. So remember, this isn't your previous Makaton ID, so your tutor login. This is now your new Makaton ID, which you'll be able to see within your profile area in your tutor account. You'll have to include your first name and last name, the course name, and the date of the course. So what you'll also have is 2 additional slides within your PowerPoint. How you will find these is within the Makaton library again. We've updated all of the levels, so levels 1 to 3 that are currently available, for you to be able to download. And within there, at the end, you will notice that we have changed the logo to the M. And reducing the O key down as we go along. You'll probably still notice though that the participant manuals still have the O key on them, but we're going through time to get that changed over, but it's not an immediate process, but we could change this one fairly soon. So when you get to the end of your courses, we'd go for the evaluation form process, but now we have a couple of extra slides just to support. And this is just talking through the 30-day free trial, and just highlighting that if they haven't previously had one, then they will be entitled to one, and just showing exactly what they would have access to. So it's a brilliant support to continue their journey once they've had their Makaton training from yourselves. And then the second slide is just a finishing offer, just to show that we'll see them in the hub, which is a really nice way of showing that welcoming them into the Makaton community in a place where they can go for support within Makachat, and also have a look at all of those signs and symbols that they would have learnt from the course to continue that journey. Because as we know, sometimes life gets the better of you. You've gone a week down the line, they may have forgotten what they are, but now what they can do, as well as looking in their participant manual, they can go on to the hub and view the video as well as getting some extra support. So that's a little bit of a quick run through there. So just to confirm what it is you will need to make sure that you have the additional slides, and they can be found within this area within the library. And you will need to download the evaluation joining email. A top tip which Alex has suggested is that when you download it, save a copy for yourself. And then when you send it out to your participants in the email, just save it as a PDF, because that way nothing can be changed, but nothing can be changed anyway. It's just that all that's on there is showing what your name is and your Makaton ID. So you don't particularly want people messing around with that as such. So you want to save that as a PDF. So that was a little bit of a quick run through. I thought what we'd rather do is actually see it in action. So what I'll do is, if there's no questions to be answered so far, no? Brilliant. Let's get to it then. Excellent. Right, I'm just going to stop sharing the screen then, and I will go into another one. So what we'll do is we'll show you where to find it in the library. So I'm going to log in as a tutor. As you'll see, I've got quite a few accounts from testing. Okay, so this is where we are. Let's go through to the library. So there's a couple of ways you can go through to the library, just in case you haven't been into the hub yet. You can either access it by going into your profile area, or you can access it on this front tab here. So if we select the library and then go through. So within here, this is the Tutor library homepage. Now, if we go through to Tutors, which is where you can find a lot of your information that you need. Remember, there's that share bank where you can upload resources as well to stop you from reinventing that wheel. But if we go into workshop materials now, you will see that there is now a new, the evaluation form has been added. So this is where you can collect that. So we'll select on the evaluation form, and then you just select download. Someone's already been in and had a look and downloaded it, which is great. And it just tells you a little bit of information here, just reminding you who's entitled to the evaluation form and some top tips on what to do. So that's where the evaluation form is. And I just want to show you where you would then find the new workshop slides as well. So here would be the new workshop slides, and again you would select those. You could select both of them if you wanted to and download them at the same time. And the evaluation form slides that I showed you previously, they would be in the second module, because that's where the evaluation form would end on. So that's where you can find your new resources which you will need to give this out. So let's go back to the hub. Okay, now what I'd like to do is show you what your participants would undertake when they're filling in their joining form, their joining email. So bear with me one moment, it's just going to share another screen. Okay, so here's the example of the joining letter. And it's just a nice little blurb just saying congratulations on completing your Makaton training and just supporting them along with their journey. So remember, when you're sending this out, you want to send it as a PDF. So it will be an attachment within the email that you send out to all your participants. Now, this email, we confirmed that any participants that have been on training since March, during the COVID period, any online training, we can backdate it and they can all receive this 30-day free trial to support them going through this period as well. And any courses that you deliver going forwards, you can hand this out too. So just to clarify that the only people that can have this 30-day free trial are those who have attended any official Makaton training, meaning the core vocabulary training. So levels 1 to 3 at current and 4 coming soon. And if anyone is still delivering the enhancement, the follow-up, or the beginners or the foundation, because you may have had workshop materials left over as well, they can also receive this form too, just that we make sure that we're including everybody. So what I've done is, what you'll need to do for each person is populate the name. So this one's test 14. And then what I'm going to do is add in the tutor ID. So let me add that in. So this would be your tutor ID. So I'm going to add mine in. And then you'll need to put in your first name and your last name. Ooh, there we go. The workshop name, I'm going to say that I delivered to level 1. And the date of training, we'll say that it happened today. Now, all this is for your participants to have reference for. So what they'll receive, when they receive this email, they'll receive all of this information, and that information is crucial for them to be able to fill in the evaluation form. So once they've received it, all the participant would do is they just need to select the link below, and then that will take them through to the workshop evaluation form. I've just changed screen. Can you still see the website screen? No.
No, Han, we can still see. No, we can see your the form still.
Okie doke, bear with me. I'll share that one. Okay, so this is now the workshop evaluation form. Can I just confirm thumbs up or nod of the head so that you can see it? Excellent, lovely, jubbly. So you can see that the applicant's name has already been processed, and that's because the system's a bit savvy. So if you're already logged in to the website, the workshop evaluation form will automatically take them to this form. But if the participant isn't logged into the system, or they haven't previously created an account, what the alert will show is a red alert displaying that they need to either create an account if they haven't previously created one, or they just need to log in, and once they've done that, they will then come through to this form. And it will already be pre-populated with that participant's name. So we've got the name in there, and then what they would do, they would then use that joining email which you would have sent them to then populate this area. So I'm going to put that information in. I'm just giving you a clear demo as to what your participants will be experiencing, so that you know when you're talking them through it what to expect. So they will then be selecting which course they've attended. So we've got a selection up here. So let's go for a level 1. and we did it as of today. What's a day ahead? And then it goes through the same questions that we had on the previous evaluation form. It's just in an online format. So it's a bit of a data capture area, which is really nice to kind of understand and gain. So do you have any personal relationship with someone to communicate with? I don't at current, no. If you do, it then has a drop-down menu. In fact, I should probably show you the drop-down menu so that you get the full experience. So there we go. I've now selected that I do have a relationship, and then it just asks, well, what type of relationship do you have? So I'll say it is, I'm a carer. I'll put in my organisation. I'll put in Speaking Space, which was my previous day service that I worked in. What's my role? Communication assistant. Oh, dear me, seeing my live spelling here. There we go. And then these are all mandatory fields. So again, it's them being able to decide what they thought of the training. There we go. I'm going to strongly agree for everything. Right, and then overall of the opinion, fantastic, if I do say so myself. Please suggest any areas to improve. Guess what I'm going to put? Videos. Video update. They are still in the process of being updated, but we will get there. And then it just captures another bit of information of what are the possible trainings they may like to receive. So actually, I've done my level 1. I'm going to go into a level 2 now. Thank you. Okay, right. Okay, so now what they need to do is submit. And once they've submitted, now what we can do is, now that they've completed their form, they can go back to their account page. And previously, this member was a free member. So now they've now turned into an individual trial member. And what that means for them is that they can now create their own biography, fill in their details, and that will all stay there. Well, it will stay there because it will revert them back into a free account once their 30-day free trial is finished. So now the best part of it, or a couple of the best parts, is the Makaton library, where they can then go through to here, and they would have all of the core vocabulary access, the core membership access. So they would have access to search all of the signs and symbols, the finger spelling, and they also have access to the core resources, which is exclusive to core members. They still have access to the free resources as well, and these items they can download, okay, but they cannot download the core vocabulary. So that's the access that they would have for the library. And then they would also have access to MakaChat as well. But as you'll notice within your tutor account, you have MakaChat and Tutor MakaChat, so they only have this MakaChat. And at the moment, we haven't got anybody in there because we're due to launch it today. We wanted to make sure that we got it out to you tutors first. And just to let you know that you can go into this MakaChat as well as a tutor. So you can go in there and support the community and see what everyone's up to. And if there's an area which you think, oh, I could really support them in that area, then please feel free to get on board and get in there to support them. So another area of MakaChat, which we've recently updated, is the public profile area. So you'll notice on your public profile that you can display your biography, and it has your social profiles as well. So you can link in your Facebook, your LinkedIn, and your Twitter. But now what we've done is, if you select onto the person's name that you're talking with, we've now opened an option to then have your website put in there as well. So that'd be another way of networking, I suppose. And if that person really wants to have a look further, they can go take a look and go along to your website. So that's what your participants will now be receiving once you've sent them that joining letter out to them, and that will last for 30 days. Now, each participant can only have one 30-day free trial, but the evaluation form will still work. So if they've done your level 1 with you, for example, and then a week later they've got their level 2, their evaluation form for the level 2, you would still go through that same process, but the system recognises that they're either still in the middle of their 30-day free trial or they've had one already. So, but that evaluation form will still work and get sent over to your tutor area. We'll also be launching with the 7-day free trial. So any member of the public who goes onto the website and goes into membership is entitled to a 7-day free trial, and they will have the same trial experience as any core member. So what you just saw with the 30-day free trial, they would have it for the same, just for 7 days. So we've extended it for any person who's been on official training to really support them with that journey further. And the public, we're putting it in there so they can see whether it's for them or not. So without further ado, let's show you what your evaluation form would look like as a tutor. Any questions before I move on, actually?
Yeah, we've had a few, Han.
Yeah.
I think a few people have been a bit concerned that they're giving out their IMIS number and email address, and then people can get into their account. So it's just to let people know that without the password, no one can access their account. And equally, at the minute, your email is your username, but you can change your username within the system. So once you're in, if you go into your account, you'll see a tab saying username password change. And if you click on that, you can change your username to whatever you would want it to be. It was just to get people in the system to start off with. We had it as the email address because it's the most easiest way to do it.
Brilliant, thanks Vicky, and I'll show you how to do that within the tutor profile in a moment as well.
And I think the other thing to show when you're doing that, Hannah, is that a number of folk have asked about how they change their profile, and there's a very small button you have to press, and it'd be good just to point that one out, just so folk can actually see where it is.
Yeah, brilliant, I will do that. Excellent. So yeah, just to confirm, not to worry about your tutor ID or your email. It is completely safe because they don't have access to your password unless you give them that, of course. But yeah, so we don't want to be doing that.
Two further quick questions.
Yeah.
One is around if someone has attendees who've gone on more than one program, so perhaps they've done level 1, level 2 during lockdown. Which one should they put on the form when they send out? Would you suggest they do it as the last course that was run?
Yeah, the last course that was run, and if you wanted to gain feedback for both of them, then you could ask them to fill it out twice, and they would still only get a 30-day free trial, and that way you would still get the evaluation forms going into your profile area. So there's no harm in them filling it in twice, so you wouldn't need to send it twice. You could just say within that email, please fill it in twice to get so I can receive both evaluations.
And the final question we had was around if someone was using the favourites area during the trial and they save some items to favourites, do they lose those favourites?
Yes, if they're within the core vocabulary, they would then lose those favourites. So they would need to, and that's the thing, it's the decider as to whether they want to continue that core membership. So it's really a taster to see what it's like, but also to then support them with their journey. So unfortunately, we can't support them for their lifetime, but that 30 days we can make that exception for going forwards. And then it would be then up to them to see whether they wanted to upgrade or not. Okay, brilliant. So what I'll do now is I will sign out as this free trial member, and I'll sign in as a tutor to show you what that would then look like. Just going to delete these other pages in case it gets confused. So now I'm signed in as a tutor. Just to make you aware as well, we'll be putting this webinar in this place here. So if any tutors are asking, oh, I couldn't make the webinar, where's it going to be? We'll be uploading it onto this area of the tutor homepage. So do encourage them to go and have a look. Okay, so if I go into my profile area, and this is our area here, what I'll do is I'll show you the workshops first, and I'll show you some of the functionalities within the profile area. So if we go into workshops, within here, it will show you the workshops that you're running and previous workshops, but now we have the evaluation form submission. So all of your evaluation forms from any of your participants will all be received within here. So I've done a few test accounts. So let's have a look. So this is the one that I sent through today. Right. It's really liking me today. Let's try that one again, shall we? Let's try another one. There we go. Whew, it works. Okay, so this is the evaluation form. So it just shows in a simple PDF document which you can download, and it's just a quick way to then see all of the information And you'll see here, it's blank here because those questions weren't mandatory, but you'll probably find that most people fill it in. Okay, so that's what the evaluation form will look like. At current, there was a previous question asked whether we could export them and have them in a grouped area. At the moment, it's not possible, but we are looking into what we can do further with the evaluation form area. This is our starting place, and there are options for us to expand on it if we feel it's necessary, and if the tutors would think it would be of a good addition. But at the moment, they're all coming in seamlessly into your account area, so you haven't got to worry or faff with paper anymore. It will all go into here. So, are there any questions on evaluation forms at all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Firstly, how will people receive the feedback? How will the tutors receive their feedback?
Okay, so this is how you would receive your feedback. You would need to log in into your tutor account, go into workshops, and then this is where all your feedback will now be stored. Okay, and then you would just select download, and then it would come up and show you what the feedback was. I had to take a breather then in case it was going to not be very nice. Okay, great.
And
so
just the other question, Han, is access to MSB. If people have attended MSB, will they get access to this?
No, they won't. We're looking at later on to look at something further for MSB, but this is solely focusing at the moment. Remember, this is our starting place. We're focusing on the core first, and then we will look to expand as we go along. But we had to start somewhere, so we thought this is a pretty good place to start, and then as you'll see, we will evolve over time as well. Okay, so if there's no more questions there, what I'll go to now is show you the profile area. So for tutors individually to update your profile, you go to the About Me tab, and within there you just select the little pencil and you can add in your information there. Okay, then you just select save. And again, if you wanted to change your email, this email would then change on the system as well, so you can change it within there. If you wanted to change your name, because the system may have previously added another name, you may have got married since then, or you may have just changed your name, you can do that yourself within here as well by changing it within here. And then you just make sure you press save and close, and that will update it in our end of the system as well. And if you weren't sure where your Makaton ID is, it's just displayed here. And you can also upload a picture as well, being a JPEG. Or another format as well, but it will show you very clearly what it is that you can then upload. If you were looking to change your username or password because you were worried about it being linked with your email address and your Makaton ID, then that's not a problem, you can do that. So within your profile area, you go to username and password, select change password and username, and it will give you these options here to then go through and change those. And then you just select save, which I'm not going to because I'm not changing anything, but then that would then change. So just remember to make sure which one it is that you changed it over to. And if you have forgotten, you can always press forgot username and it will send you out an email to your account it's registered with.
Hannah, just if you could just re-point out where that button is to change people's names, because it is quite small.
Yes, it is a little bit small, I would agree. And we've asked if we can get it moved over, and what you'll find is it's because this lovely tab here is just slightly in the way, so it's a little bit of a nugget there, and you would select it and it would come up. So in other areas you can see this pencil. Unfortunately at the moment, for now, we're looking to get it done, but it's just that little area there, so you can probably just about see it, but when you go onto your own screen you'll then be able to see it there. So your public profile, if you wanted to check to make sure that not too many details were displaying, you would just select view my public profile. I haven't actually filled mine in yet, but I have put in the website. So this is the only information that would be displayed and which is visible to anybody else. So not to worry about your email or your address or anything like that. This is the only information that is shown at the moment to the public. And where the public would then be able to see that is if they would then participated in MakaChat. So if you were looking to network or talk with another tutor, all that side of things, and you can go into the Tutor Mac chat and check out what's going on. You would then select the person's name, and within there you can then see their information, and that's all that will be displayed. And if they have a picture, it would also display there. Oh, no, it doesn't. Well, but they've seen your picture previously. So that's how you can see that information, and where your public profile would also be able to be viewed. I've been a bit naughty and haven't renewed my license just yet. But if you haven't renewed your license just yet, here is how you would do it, and you would also book your study as well.
Just on that, Hannah,
Yeah.
it's a little bit off topic, but a lot of people might still be seeing the renew your tutor license, and they filled out the form and they've gone through a purchase order process. That alert won't actually come off their profile until it's paid. So that's why that is there. So you don't have to keep redoing it or anything like that. It's gone through. Once you've updated your purchase order details and it's paid, that will come off. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks for that, Vicky.
One question from a member watching is whether tutors working in teams, so there might be more than one, and they're sharing resources. Can they all use one account to collect all the information, or how would they best approach that?
Well, ideally, when we launch it, we'll be launching with a group membership. So we'll have a core group membership. Do you mean with tutors,
This
or
is with the tutor feedback? What the question is, if I read it, as a team of tutors, we often share training between us and may deliver sessions together or mixed. The evaluation forms are then sent out from a generic email, and to which tutor would they then be attached?
Well, I think that would be between your team to then decide which tutor you'd want it to be sent to, and then that tutor, who is the named tutor, could then export them and send them on to the rest of the team.
So I think, so with that, I think it doesn't matter which email address it's being sent from. You can send it from a generic email address, but it just depends what tutor you're putting in those details that Hannah did. So the first name, the tutor ID number, that's the bit that indicates which tutor is going to end up with the feedback in the long run. So it doesn't matter which email address it's being sent from. That is the key bit of information. The information that the participant is inputting into that form will dictate where it gets sent to.
Yeah, and then that account holder can then download them and then send them to everyone else if they want to, or they can just talk it through and summarize it. Okay, so
just a quick question, sorry, Hannah, what I've seen is how much is it, and after the free trial, etc., and where can they join?
Yeah, so once we've finished this webinar, the page will be going live, and the core membership will be £60 per year. So once they've then completed their 30-day free trial, they can then decide whether they want to upgrade, which will be within their profile area, or if they don't want to upgrade, they would simply revert back into a free account. So it's £60 to have access to the whole of the core vocabulary, access it as many times as they like, as well as download the resources which we supply within that core vocabulary. Now, you would have known previously that I spoke of this, previously it was called the family group membership, which we thought was a bit wordy. So we've now reduced it to core group membership, which will probably get known as group membership, and that will be coming soon. We wanted to make sure that we could really get all of the participants who have gone on the training to get their 30-day free trials through first, as well as core members being able to sign up. And then at a later date, we'll then be releasing the core group membership. Now, that will be £90 for 4 people to log in, so it will probably be very suitable for professionals or for families as well. And they would have that same access as the core, but the only difference is that they would then have 4 logins. So you'll probably do a little bit of math there and work out it's a bit of a bargain, but the idea behind it is that we can really support the families and professionals where possible, because we're all aware of budgets, especially with COVID going on at the moment. But we wanted to make sure that we could get your participants their 30-day free trial first and into the system as our newbies coming in.
Just a quick question, Anne. We've got a few just around, can they pay monthly? So just to let people know that at the moment it's an annual fee of £60. We will be introducing direct debit pay monthly. It will probably be in a couple of months' time, and it will be a slightly more expensive pay monthly annual cost event overall.
Yeah.
But it's coming. Do you want to talk about the costs of that?
So the direct debit, it will be for the core membership for the individual, it will be £5.99 a month. So if you do the maths, it kind of works out that it's a little bit more over that time period, but it's a lot of processing in the background. But it'll probably be a lot more manageable for people to be able to pay £5.99 a month, which is what we pay for less than Netflix. So yeah, it'll be £5.99 a month, and the group membership, I believe, is £8.99 per month for a family or professionals of 4. So yeah, that's those pricings, but we will have those on the membership page. So we'll also be getting a video together to do a little bit of a tour and a demo as to what to expect as a core member. But what we will be doing as well is offering out the 7-day free trial, as I mentioned earlier, to any member of the community. And they don't need a tutor ID attached to that. They just have to go in, fill it in, and the system will let them in for 7 days and then revert them back to a free account unless they, of course, upgrade. So that's a little bit there. Are there any more questions that are arising?
We've got lots coming through, so we're just making our way through them slowly.
Okay, well, if you're dealing with those and there's nothing that everyone would need to know of, then I could show another feature. Okay, great. So what I wanted to alert to you as well within MacaChat, since the launch, it's been great. We've had a good amount of footfall coming through, and I've noticed like within the social media communities that there's still very much a high demand within there, which is fantastic, because it's great that tutors have come together and networking to find out those answers. The only problem is that if someone isn't in that group, then they don't then find out that information, whereas all tutors now have access to MacaChat. So what we want to slowly try and do is to try and move people into using MacaChat as that forum-based area, because then it means that everyone can then be alerted to what's going on, and then it just means that no one's missing out on anything really. So yeah, that's a little bit about MacaChat, and there's some really useful information going in there with some great discussions, people introducing themselves, and also it's talking around networks as well. So there's been a bit of a networks has always been a bit of a bugbear for a lot of people, I think, whereas they don't know how to get in touch with them, they don't know what's going on. So there's a thread within here about tutor networks even, and it just talks about different networks that are going on, and you can then go in there and find a network, or you can say, I'm not part of a network, can I please join someone's, I'm in this area, and then you can then join a network, which would be great, which will really support that team, really, that team building, because a lot of tutors, they feel like they're a bit alone, they're maybe a bit isolated, and they need some guidance and support. And MacaChat is that area where they can find that guidance and support, and really, when we can, meet up with tutors to then network, or go with good old Zoom to get together. I know that's been working quite well with network discussions. A lot of people have been doing them via Zoom during this period, rather than them not doing it at all, or any other video platform, in fact.
A quick, there are some questions coming through following a theme around the courses that aren't available to have the 30-day free trial. And it's a really good way of getting around it is to offer them the 7-day trial, because that's just free for everybody to go and trial and use. So just set up a free account and then they can get the 7-day free trial. So if you have promised people a free trial, then that's a great way around it, and they can have that easily. They just go on and sign up to it.
Yeah, and that will be available to anyone as well. And we are aware that there is that ongoing problem of evaluation forms with other courses such as taster sessions or using Makaton with singing, but that will be something that we're working on. Now it's taken us a good little while to get to this point, but they are on our agenda to improve. And in the meantime, continue to use what you're using, or put a note into MacaChat to see what other people are doing. So yeah, that's a little bit about evaluation forms and other courses. And just to remind you that the 30-day free trial is only available to those who have attended level 1 to 3 at current, and when level 4 comes out, it'll be level 4, and all of the previous core vocabulary workshops as well. So, you know, the beginners, the foundation, and so on.
Could I also sort of jump in around, there's a number of questions around the cost of membership, and clearly that there is a cost of maintaining what we're putting in place, and so we have had to put a charge against membership. But the aim is going forward, firstly to launch the group membership, which will enable individuals to either club together and provide a much lower cost solution where it's appropriate for them, or to for individuals to purchase on behalf of a group of individuals. So that's one way that folk who are unable to pay for it themselves could access. So my church, for example, locally is looking to take a purchase of an account going forward, and they're able to give it out to some of the folk in their local community. The other thing we will be looking at doing as we go forward, but this probably won't be until the new year, is looking to try and establish a foundation. And that part of the role of that foundation will be to create a pot of money that we can use to support members of the community that cannot access the service as a full cost provision. But that's something we're working on, and we hope to be able to launch that early in the new year.
So it's quite exciting, you'll probably agree. And you know, Makaton has come a long way in a very short period of time, and with, you know, we've got a future plan in place and a good mission and vision, which we're definitely on track to achieve. And this is the starting place, which will continue to evolve. And just to echo Stephen's words, it is the bigger picture is to be able to build up that foundation so that we can support those who probably can't access it due to cost, but we can't make it free at the moment to people, because it's just the charity wouldn't no longer run. So we have to start somewhere, and we will build upon that. And the definite mission is to make sure that we can really support those people who can't afford it, because we are very aware that that is out there, along with trainings as well. So this is our beginning place, and we will continue to evolve and expand as well. But please do continue your feedback, because it's vital, it's really informative, and a lot of your feedback and information has helped us to develop what we have here today, and will continue to develop as well. So it's the starting place, but hopefully you'll agree that it's a good starting place. Okay, so I think we've gone through the evaluation forms and what you need to do as a tutor. So just to remind you, I'm going to sign out of there now. The 30-day free trial is now live, so please do go ahead and log back into the hub, and you can download the joining email as well as the PowerPoint slides to support you with handing that out. So if you haven't delivered any training just recently, but you have previously, all you'll need to do at this moment is to get that joining email template and send it out to those previous participants, that they can really benefit and continue with their journey. Even if it was in March, that's okay, just backdate it and we'll send it through, and then you'll see that feedback come into your account. If something doesn't look quite right and you're not quite sure, please use that help button on the website, because that comes through directly to our team of helpers, and we can then direct it to the right and relevant people. So it's a really good source to use, and there's also lots of solutions on there if you're not quite sure how to do something. So search in a keyword, say for example, and a solution will pop up willing to support you. And if that doesn't work, then of course please do get in touch with us. So I hope that you've enjoyed that and excited to get into the library. I'm excited to see how many downloads of templates there's going to be. But yeah, thank you for listening. And yeah, we hope that your participants enjoy continuing their journey. If there's not any more questions, then I think that we will say goodbye and hopefully see you soon.